Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, Akshay? Are you
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
Am I audible to you? Because I can't hear you.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, me. Okay, that's great. Just a second. Let me check my speaker. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Can you switch on your video? Because I would not know what you're doing.
Oh,
Are you listening or not? So, yeah. Hi, Akshay.
hello, ma'am.
How are you?
Good, ma'am.
Oh, I can't hear you a bit also. I don't know how to do. Can you speak a bit louder or use a microphone or something?
Can you hear me now, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your voice is very feeble. I have to go near my laptop. That's right.
Okay, yeah, 1 second. I'll just get earphones.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay, fine. It's cool. Ah, back to your video. Yes. Okay, great. So tell me, Akshay, what are your expectations? What are you looking forward before we start the entire process?
Uh, Nothing. I just want to finish off the neat and neat portions before like Jan, Feb, so that like my tutor is taking care of 12th. So 11th I
Okay.
need to finish so that I can start like writing tests from February.
Okay. So, are you very confident on your 11th portion? How, like, you
Oh,
remember?
I don't remember anything from
You
11th.
don't remember anything. Okay, that's great. No problem. We can start from the scratch. That is easier. Okay. So, I don't know about other subjects, but you must be having a target or something with bio, or you just want to write
Yeah,
for the
I
sake of
need to
writing.
get like 345 above. So
Three?
45 above out of like 360.
Ah, okay. You should actually have a target of 360. Then only you'll come to 345.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good. I'm happy. So you're not writing neat because of someone's forcing on the thing, right?
No, no.
Cool. That's nice. So one thing that I will tell you is that since you're already in 12th standard, I won't go according to the NCRT order.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will go according to the weightage order. So if you see according to the weightage, human physiology carries the
Most
highest
marks.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will start with human physiology. Okay. One more thing that I would like to tell you is that generally, when it comes to NEET, people say you have to refer a lot of extracurricular books and everything, right? And
Yeah.
there's a lot of content. Okay. But I would say that it's always best to learn NCRT first
Yeah. That's what
properly.
my tutor also tells. Just stick to NCRT and then,
Exactly.
yeah.
Correct. So every diagram, every column in your textbook is supposed to be known by you on your fingertips. Okay. After that, only any extra information. So in my class, I'll be giving you extra informations based on previous year's questions.
Hmm.
Okay. So you might not find it a little heavy for you because I've split it into different sessions. Okay. I'll try my level best to make it simple. But one condition is I expect you to read and come the next class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever I teach. Okay. So
Yeah.
so that by the end of every chapter I will be discussing the previous year's questions. I think in the group also I sent a MTG's book.
Yeah. I'll print that. So it's
Yeah.
easier for me
So
to.
all that you need to do is once you are okay with the content, then you're supposed to solve as many questions as possible, which I'll help you out with. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not an issue at all. But you have to put in effort. I'll put 50% of effort, 50% you should also put.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, even I wrote this year NEET, and I also scored around 350. I
Okay.
only wrote bio.
Oh,
Okay, so that I have a first-hand experience of how the exam is going to be, and the exam, trust me, this year was very very easy.
Yeah, so many people got 720.
Yeah, exactly. It was from the NCRT itself, especially bio. Everything was from NCRT. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Today we will start with the digestion chapter. Okay.
No, 1 second, I have the book. I'll just.
Yeah. What happened?
No, I have the book. I'll just open the book.
Okay, cool. You can take down notes.
Yeah.
I'll also send the PPT that I am using in the class for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
After class, I'll take it down, or during class itself?
During class itself, you can take down the running notes. It's up to you.
Oh, okay. Because I
Yeah.
usually take it after class, so during class I can just fully
You
understand.
will be able to remember.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
if you
great.
have the PPT, like from the PPT, I can just write the notes.
My PPT will not contain everything.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you a heads up. It's not like your school PPTs where everything will be there on the PPT. And this is not going to be like that. So
Oh,
if
okay.
I'm telling you to note down something, do note that down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that will help you. Let me just share the screen. Okay, cool. So we will start from the very scratch. Probably these information you might be already knowing. Okay. Uh, cool. So basically, if you talk about, we need to understand what is the entire nutrition mean. Okay. So what do you know about nutrition, Akshay? Tell me that first.
Food.
Food.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
things we
Nutrition is
eat. It contains like all minerals, vitamins, everything you need.
okay.
Fatty acids, fats, carbohydrates, and all that.
Then tell me what is the difference between nutrients and nutrition?
Nutrients are the content of food,
Uh,
and nutrition is the source of food.
okay. So basically, nutrition is the process.
Oh,
Okay. The word nutrition was actually derived from the Latin word. Okay. And it means nourishment.
oh, okay.
Okay. So the food that we eat basically contains whatever you see on the screen. That is vitamin, carbohydrates, lipids, and everything. Okay. So we can classify these substances as nutrients. And based on their requirements, we can classify
Macro
them
and
as
micro.
macro and micro. Okay. Macro means large,
And micro
micro
is like
means
small quantities.
small quantity. Yes. So definitely the macro ones should be what all?
Proteins,
Huh.
carbohydrates,
Hmm.
fats.
Correct. Very good. So all the biomolecules can be together called as macronutrients.
Macronutrients.
The remaining, the vitamins and
Vitamins,
minerals and
minerals
water
are all
can be
water.
called as
Yeah.
micronutrients. Yes, this is basic. Correct. So this is going to be your definition for nutrition. It's a process wherein the food is
Living
consumed and
organisms
the
obtain
nutrients are absorbed by the body. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So the system that helps in this process, we term it as digestive system, but the process that it does is basically nutrition. Say for example, like if you talk about excretion, is done by excretory system. But
It's under digestion.
yes, digestive system is actually a kind of a misnomer. Okay, the digestive system does a lot of work, which together we comprise and call it as nutrition.
Nutrition.
Okay, is this
Yeah.
clear till now?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you talk about the modes of nutrition, so these are all basics that we have already covered. One is autotrophic
Autotrophic is only
and
plants.
heterotrophic.
Heterotrophic
Yes.
is like meat,
Yeah.
animals.
So
Yeah.
in this particular unit, we will be dealing with Holozoic nutrition. I hope you know what is Holozoic.
I forgot.
Okay, fine. So heterotrophic means what?
Like eat other animals and meat and all that.
Correct. Depending upon other animals. Now, tell me what is the difference between the nutrition in human beings and a nutrition in your head lice, the lice that are on your head.
We are heterotrophic.
Okay.
And the lice on our head.
They make their own food.
Uh,
They cook on your head.
No, they are also heterotrophic.
They are also heterotrophic, but there is a difference, correct? The difference is that the head lice are feeding upon you. They
Yeah,
are getting the nutrients
thing
directly from you.
from us. Yeah,
That is called parasitic.
parasitic. Yeah,
Yes, but when you talk about fungi, fungi grows on dead animals.
yeah,
So
that is
fungi is said to be saprophytic.
phytic. Yeah.
Okay, but we animals are generally holozoic in nature. Okay,
Hmm.
what is it?
Holo
Holozoic.
Z.
Holozoic.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you mean by holozoic? Whole means what? On a
Mm,
whole, we say, right? What do you mean by
yeah,
that?
a lot of things.
Yeah,
Or
so the food we eat, does it consist of only carbohydrates or only proteins or only fats?
no, it contains like all of them.
Exactly. So the food that we eat consists of all the nutrients, and what our body does is that it will split it into small components. That is called as digestion,
And
and
then
after that it is going to
the
use it.
absorb. Yeah.
That is absorption, and then it's going to store. That will be assimilation,
Tension and
and
then excretion.
exactly. So these 5 steps together is called as holozoic nutrition, and it
Nutrition.
comes under heterotrophic.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me, what are the types of what is the type of nutrition that is seen in vulture?
Vulture, heterotrophic.
Ah, or
No,
type.
holozoic. Holozoic.
Correct, holozoic. So generally, people tend to tell it as saprophytic because they feed on dead animals, right? But they
Yeah.
also are going to get all the nutrients processed like this.
All the steps.
Understood? Now, give
Yeah.
me an example of a saprophytic animal.
Saprophytic animal. I don't know.
There exists none. How will you know it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wherever you hear the term phytic, it means plant.
Oh yeah. So it's not animal.
Exactly. So since earlier time fungi was considered under plant, it comes under saprophytic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So plants are the only ones which are saprophytic. There is no
Saprophytic.
saprophytic animal. Okay. Now
Yeah.
we'll move on to the digestive system. Okay. So using our hands and using a spoon or whatever method, we take the food in. That process is called as ingestion.
Ingestion.
After ingestion, whatever is happening till our small intestine, it is going to be the digestion process.
Digestion.
Okay, and then then absorption assimilation will come
Assimilation.
on
And then after
later
the
on.
intestine, it is excretion.
Correct, very good. Now, so when we talk about the digestive system as such, we can categorize it into 2 parts. One is the alimentary canal, another is the digestive glands. Okay, so in
Alimentary canal and yeah.
digestive glands, correct. Okay, in today's and I think mostly next class also, we will be focusing on the different parts of the alimentary canal. Then we will move on to the different digestive glands. Okay,
Mm.
so alimentary canal is basically a very long tube. It is too long, it is longer than your height. Okay,
Oh,
the only thing is that it is folded at
it's
many
folded. Yeah.
places, yes, to comprise and fit it into our body. Okay, so we'll just go on through the various pathways of the alimentary canal. Okay, now the points that you need to remember, like you need to as such by heart or something, is the length. Okay, how
6 to 8
long it is.
meters.
It's generally 6 to 9 meters, around 30 feet.
Hmm.
Yes, so you need to remember, because sometimes they like ask these diameters and all, and especially if it is given in your textbook, you have to definitely remember it. Okay, fine. So the starting portion is called as the mouth, the ending portion is the anus. Now, before I move on further, I would like to ask you, do you know what is the difference between posterior, anterior, dorsal, ventral?
Posterior and yeah, I think so.
Tell me.
Ventral, I think, is backside. No, dorsal is the front part. Ventral is the back part.
Mm.
And anterior, posterior, I forgot.
Okay, very good. Now, if I am asking you, you see cockroaches roaming around at your home or something?
Yeah, the
Now
dorsal
tell,
side is the wing. The wing
Correct. The
part.
dorsal side is the wing. How is it the wing?
Like it's the topmost part. When the cockroach is walking, like it's the topmost part.
When the cockroach is
It's
actually
on the
lying
floor.
on.
Yeah, on the floor, it's the topmost part is dorsal. And
Correct.
below that, where the limbs are attached, is ventral.
So the anal is posterior or anterior?
Posterior.
Posterior. And what about anterior?
The eyes.
Anterior is the mouth part.
Mouth. Yeah, mouth.
Yeah. Okay. So now these are the various parts of the alimentary canal. Now why I have listed this down is generally when we talk about alimentary canal, liver and pancreas also we consider to be a part of alimentary canal, but they are
But it's
not.
not. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The alimentary canal, the tubular structure is just going to be starting from mouth,
Mouth, pharynx,
pharynx, esophagus, stomach,
small
small
intestine,
intestine, large
and large
intestine.
intestine.
Okay. Now let's basically consider a food going to travel along our body, how it is going to travel. I'm not going to talk about the digestion part. I'm just going to show you the different parts. Digestion will take up later. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with the first stop. The first stop is going to be the mouth.
Mouth.
Okay. Now, do you know what is a cavity?
Yeah, it's like a hollow.
Correct. Now tell me, is mouth a cavity or buccal cavity is different from mouth?
Uh,
Have you heard of the oral cavity or the buccal cavity?
Yeah, buccal cavity.
You've heard, right?
Yeah.
So generally, we often tend to use mouth and buccal cavity as the same term.
But it's different.
It is different. Yes, exactly. The opening of your mouth, this part is there. No, the opening.
Yeah.
That is mouth.
Mouth. But inside it's actually buccal cavity.
Exactly. So where is your teeth present? From now on, you should not answer it as mouth. It's present in your oral cavity or buccal cavity.
Lips are the mouth.
Sorry, yes, lips are the mouth. Okay, so that is the difference. So when you talk about the opening of the alimentary canal, it starts with the mouth. We have two lips, upper lip and lower lip.
Lower lip.
Okay, now the gap between these lips here, you know, if you can see in between your teeth and your lips, they're called as vestibule.
Vestibule.
Yes. So in this image, it might not be clear, but if you check out for yourself, okay, there is a small gap here, no, in this place.
Oh, where?
Here, this gap.
Yeah.
This gap.
There's a gap between the lip and the mouth.
Are your lips and teeth attached with each other?
No, there's a gap.
There's a gap. That gap is called vestibule.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, after that, we enter into the buccal cavity, which is that empty space when we say we see, right? That empty space. So there are three parts in this buccal cavity. One is a palate, another is the tongue, and another is the teeth.
Palate is the upper part, right?
Yes, the upper part.
Yeah.
Yes. So we will see one by one how it is, what are their features and everything. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with the palate part. Okay. As you said, palate is the roof. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you move your tongue a little bit, you keep your tongue near in the front portion, that is in the anterior portion, you will feel that the roof is a little hard. Yes?
Yeah.
But push your tongue a little backwards. Try and push it a little backwards. You'll see a very soft region. Compared to your front region, the behind region would be a little soft. Sorry?
Yeah, compared to the front, it's soft.
Yeah, don't expect it to be very soft. It will be comparatively softer. Okay. So the palate is basically in the anterior side hard, and at the posterior side it is soft. Okay. And so that is in the image. You might not be able to differentiate. That's why I asked you to feel it and see.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is how the palate is divided. It is divided into two parts. One is hard palate, another is soft palate. So I don't think it will be confusing, no, to remember which is anterior, which is posterior.
Yeah, anterior is outside, posterior is inside.
No. I mean, which palate is anterior, which palate?
Yeah, hard is anterior and soft is posterior.
Very good. Good. That's great. Now, basically, like when you talk about the this one, hard palate, they have certain structures called like ridges. Ridges means like small cuts, which it's not very abruptly seen, but when you move around your tongue, you can feel
Yeah, you
it is
can
not
feel
an
the
even
cuts.
surface.
Yeah.
Yes, those are called as ridges.
Okay.
Okay, and basically they help in chewing. Now, if you ask how they help in chewing, they are not moving and all. They are like a cover of a container. Now, if I want to shake something within the container, if I keep the cover open, what will happen?
It will fall out.
It will fall out. Same way, if there is no gap that is dividing the nose and my mouth, everything will go into the nose, right?
Nose. Yeah.
So therefore, it is basically bridging a gap between the nose and your mouth.
Mouth.
Okay, so it is acting like a roof for the mouth. I mean, I should not say mouth, it should be buccal cavity.
Buccal cavity.
Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we need to learn a special structure. This structure here, can you see? Uvula.
Oh, the hanging one.
Yes, the uvula is the ending of the soft palate. Okay, so if you see, like if you have seen this lion roaring and all, you can see this thing moving.
Yeah.
In
The
cartoons
white-
also, if you have seen, the Jerry will go and hit this and play. I don't know if you have seen it or not.
Yeah. I
Correct.
wouldn't remember now, but yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, so this is called uvula.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
there is one more thing in the reproduction chapter you will be learning in the external genitalia called as vulva. So there is a tendency to get confused between the term vulva and uvula
Uvula. Okay.
because the spelling is just like I have to interchange V and U. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so be careful with that.
Yeah.
Now, what is uvula's function? It's not simply hanging there. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, sometimes when you drink water, there are high chances that it gets into your nose.
Huh.
Have you
Like when
seen?
you're.
You feel like the world is going to end because from your nose it gets into your brain, your head
Oh,
part. It
yeah.
irritates you, right? How is that happening?
Mm, the uvula absorbs the water.
Uvula actually doesn't absorb the water. What it does is your nose is there, no?
No.
This nostrils is going to open into the space here. Okay,
Huh.
so that uvula is going to close that opening.
Oh,
So when that opening is closed, what will happen? Will anything go inside?
no.
No. So that is why you would have heard parents telling, don't speak and eat,
Eat, yeah.
concentrate
Because
and
your
eat.
windpipe and this thing will be.
Yes, that is one reason, and uvula is another reason. Got the difference?
Yeah.
Same, yes, you said right about epiglottis.
Yeah.
Uvula does a similar function, but it does it with the opening of the internal nares.
Layers. Okay.
Okay, so this question was asked once long back. It was not asked in NEET, it was asked in I think JIPMER or something. Okay,
Oh, but now no
so
JIPMER exams.
yes, uvula closes which opening? So your answer should be internal nares.
Internal.
Nares means nostrils.
Okay. Internal nares.
Nares, yes, Nares. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the entire thing about palate. Okay, now
Oh.
let's see the next one, which is called as tongue. Okay, there is a myth saying that tongue is the strongest muscle and all. As I said, it is a myth. It is not true. It is muscular in nature,
Yeah, but
but it
it's
is not
not
the
the strongest muscle.
strongest muscle. Yes, because there are some people who say it's the strongest muscle. You can kill people by talking because tongue helps in talking. Yeah, that's just a myth. Okay, now when we talk about tongue majorly helps you in tasting. Okay,
Yeah.
that you already might be knowing. So common sense. Yes. Apart from that, the scientific
Yeah.
name of tongue. What is the scientific name of tongue? What's the root word?
I don't know.
It means lingual, lingua.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard the term lingual?
Yeah.
Linguistic and all we say,
Yeah.
right? For languages, we use that
Yeah.
word, right?
Lingual. Yeah. Multilingual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now tell me, how do you speak? Without your tongue, can you speak?
No.
Tongue is a major organ which helps in speaking,
Speaking.
right? So
Yeah.
basically, the term lingua is nothing but it means tongue.
Okay.
So wherever you see the term lingual, the root word means tongue. So if I say sublingual, what does it mean?
Tongue, like sub.
Sub means what?
In the present, in the place of, or
Sub means below.
below. Okay.
Epi means top.
Top. Okay.
Okay. So what happens is, if you learn the root words well, you'll be able to identify words even if you suddenly see some new word in your exam. You're not able to identify, but if you know the root word, it will make it
You
easier.
can, yeah.
Okay. So epilingual means above the tongue. Sublingual means
Well, means below the tongue.
below the tongue. Yes. Now let's see the tongue's anatomy. Okay. Now there are a lot of terms. Tell me, amongst these terms, which are the terms very new to you? Everything?
Almost, no, I've heard of tonsil,
Okay, great.
and then I've heard about filiform papilia. I've heard about that.
Okay.
Other than that, I think everything is new.
Other than that, everything is okay. Fine. Cool. So basically, there is a thing that we generally say that tongue has taste buds. Yes. But
Yeah.
my question is it present all over the tongue or not?
It's present.
Hmm.
Yeah, all over the tongue.
That is the thing that we did not learn in our younger classes in detail. Yes. So if you see, basically there are certain structures or small projections like this. You can see, small dots here and big dots. These are called as papillae. What are they called?
Papillae.
Papillae. You can see here in the diagram they have mentioned papillae, right?
Yeah.
So these small projections from the tongue is called as papillae.
Papillae is plural and papilla is singular,
Correct.
right?
Yes. Papillae is plural. Papilla is singular.
Singular.
Okay. Now, what happens is that there are different types of papillae that are available. Now, I want you to note these points down that I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Because I have not mentioned it anywhere in the slide, and you will not find it in NCERT also. Okay. Starting with first one, valid papillae. Here.
Okay.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have a mirror or your phone or something, if you show your tongue, is your tongue like flat, or is it having a V-shaped structure at the end, at the posterior side?
V-shaped.
V-shaped, right? So what happens is that this particular V-shape here, okay, this is called as sulcus terminalis. This V-shape here is called as sulcus terminalis. Okay. Now, how will you remember this? Very simple. What do you mean by sulking? When I say don't sulk, what does it mean?
Don't like.
Don't frown or something like that. Don't be very.
Like when guests come, don't sulk. They tell.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
like don't be frowny like that. Yeah.
Yeah. In bio, wherever you hear the term sulk or sulcus or sulci, it means a depression.
Oh, okay.
Not the psychological depression. A depression in the structure.
Depression, like, yeah.
Okay, like how your tongue is. Okay, so if you see your tongue is going like this, it's not a straight organ, isn't it? Is it sulking or not?
Yeah.
So the point at which it sulks, it ends. So therefore you can call it as sulcus terminalis, terminal at the end. Okay, so this particular structure is sulcus terminalis. This center point where that sulcus terminalis joins is called as foramen cecum.
What is it?
I'll tell you the spelling. You can note it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. The spelling is F-O-R-A. M-E-N.
Yeah.
Cecum.
Oh, yeah.
Spelling.
C-A-E-C-U-M.
C-A-E-C-U-M. Yes. That is the center point where the sulcus terminalis is going to join. Okay. Now, why am I telling about the sulcus terminalis? Along the sulcus terminalis, there are certain round structures, round papillae, which we call it as valate papillae. So if you see in this diagram, Valid papillae is what shape?
Circular.
Circular shape, right?
Yeah.
And that is the reason why they're also called as circumvallate papillae.
Circum what?
Circumvallate. Just add a
Oh, okay.
circum before vallate. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Oh, yes. Yes, that's the first type. Okay. Now, why did I start with this vallate papillae is because they are the largest out of the 4 types of papillae that are there. Okay. So, totally how many types of papillae we are going to have? 4. The first one, which is called as circumvallate papillae, and it is the largest in terms of size.
Mm.
Okay. And also note down how many are present generally.
Oh.
There are around 8 to 12 circumvallate papillae.
Oh, okay. Yeah, done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in this circumvallate papillae, there will be taste buds. Okay. So, if you see, each papillae will contain about 100 taste buds. Okay. So, that means you can expect anywhere around 1200 taste buds just in where? The circumvallate papillae alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next one. Filiform papillae. Note it down. I'll tell you the function.
Yeah.
Okay. In this image, you can't see the exact shape of the filiform papillae, but they're conical in nature.
They're conical, right?
Yes. And you can find them almost everywhere.
Oh.
They are spread across the tongue. Especially near the center part here. Okay. Now, what is the function? Put an asterisk somewhere and write important. This is the only papillae which does not contain taste buds.
This is, yeah.
Okay. So, which is the papillae which does not contain taste buds?
Filiform papillae.
Filiform. Yes, this question was asked. That's why I'm asking you to note it down. Okay. And they are the smallest papillae.
Okay.
Okay. So, which is the largest?
Valid.
Vallate. Which is the smallest?
Filiform.
Vallate has taste buds or not?
Yeah, it does.
It has. What about filiform?
No taste buds.
Very good. Now only 2 more types are remaining. Okay, let's start with fungiform papillae. Just a second. I'm in class. I'll call you back. Yeah. So when you talk about fungiform papillae, they are they are also like less in number, but because of their appearance is why they're called as fungiform papillae. Okay, and they also have taste buds. Fine.
Okay.
There is nothing like a very important thing to note in this, but where you can find fungiform papillae is in the tip of the tongue, near the tip of the tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last but not the least is foliate papillae. Foliate papillae. Put an asterisk again and write it is not very well developed in humans. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, what you need to remember amongst these is the name of the 4 papillae, which is the largest, which is the smallest,
yeah,
and which does not have taste buds.
taste buds.
Yes, these are the important question-oriented areas. Okay, the remaining whatever I told is for your understanding.
Okay.
Where it is located and all. Okay. Now, in this image, you will be seeing this tonsil part. First, I will explain what is pharynx, and then we will move on to the tonsils.
Tonsils.
Okay. So now we come to the next part of the buccal cavity. So we saw palate, we saw tongue. Now the only thing that is left out in your entire buccal cavity is teeth. Okay. Now the white part that we see is called as a crown.
Crown.
Okay. The inner part is called as a root. Between the crown and the root, we have the
Neck.
neck portion. Yes, this is from the outer. So the white region that we see is called as the enamel. Okay, but the crown does not have only the enamel. The crown also has some fluid called as dentine in it. Okay, and within this dentine there is an empty space which is called as a pulp cavity. So crown,
and then
root,
inside crown, crown,
between
root,
them
and
is
neck, and crown has enamel and fluid dentin, and then within it has a cavity which is called pulp cavity.
Pulp cavity, and the blood vessels are found in the pulp cavity.
Pulp cavity.
Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if suppose this is the socket, okay. So basically, in human beings, if you see our bone jaws into there are small cavities, okay, which we call it as a socket. It's just like your how you put your plugs in.
Yeah, socket.
Yes, socket, exactly. So same way, your teeth is everything is embedded into these sockets. Okay, so that particular bone is covered by your gums. The part that you can see here, all these gums area. Yes. Okay. Now, what are the questions that come from this area? Okay. So the hardest part in your entire body is enamel. Okay, enamel is the hardest part. Now there are specialized cells which are going to form this enamel. Do you know the name?
No.
It's called ameloblast. AME.
1 second.
Yes. The specialized cells that forms the enamel is called ameloblast. AME.
AME.
LOBLAST.
LOBLAST.
Yes, ameloblast.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to look here. So here you can see this pulp cavity, right? Oh, no, sorry. This pulp cavity is lined by certain specialized cell. Okay.
Pulp cavity is lined by certain.
Lined by specialized cells. Those cells will give rise to this dentine. And those cells are called odontoblast.
Odontoblast.
ODONT.
Yeah, and then BLAST.
So odontoblast lines the pulp cavity and give rise to dentin.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now we will move on to classification of teeth. Okay. So we can classify teeth based on where it is located, based on how many times in your life it is going to occur. This is not just in human beings. I'm talking about teeth in general. Whichever animal has teeth, for all of them, this applies. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. And based on the structure and function, we can classify them. So first, we'll see with structure and function. Okay. What do you mean by hetero and what do you mean by homo?
Homo is like same, hetero is different.
Yes. And anything that is related to dental is don't or dentistry, right? So homodont means same type of teeth.
Type of teeth. And
yes. Heterodont means different type of teeth. What are we? Heterodont or homodont?
We have molar, premolar, and then incisors, canine. Yeah.
Very good. Good. So I'll show you an image of how homodont looks. It is little funny. It looks like this.
Oh, dolphins.
Yes, dolphins. Okay. So if you see, it looks like something arranged, in a straight form. They have only same set of teeth. Okay. Okay. So homodont example is dolphins. Heterodont you can give human beings. Right. Now that was based on how the structure is. Another classification is, if you talk about the heterodonts, we can classify, as you said, as incisor, canine, premolars, and
Molars.
molars. Okay. So when you talk about incisor, the first teeth
Teeth.
here is
Yeah,
the,
these two.
yes, exactly, the incisor. Okay. So as the name suggests, scissors means meant to cut.
Cutting down food.
Yes. So for cutting of food, incisor. Okay. But for your tearing of food, you have canine.
Canine teeth. Yeah.
Okay. And for the grinding and chewing, we
Chewing
have
is
the
premolar and
premolar and
molar.
the
Molar.
molar. Okay. So the how these teeth is arranged in our particular system. Okay. For human beings, we have something called as dental formula. Okay. So dental formula applies to all the animals which have teeth, but we are going to mainly focus only on human beings.
You.
Okay. So after I finish the remaining classification, I'll be taking up with dental formula. Fine. Now we'll start talk about sight. Okay. So if I explain like this, you might not be able to understand. So we'll use this image. Okay. What did I tell you about our teeth? How it is? Is it embedded, or is it on the top, or is it on the side of the socket?
It's on the top and the side.
No. See, if you see here, this bone is there.
Hmm.
The teeth is embedded into it, correct? Like
Yeah.
this line is going to be our socket, okay?
Yeah.
And this is our teeth. The teeth is going to be
Embedded into it.
embedded into it. So if the teeth is embedded into the socket, we call it as thecodont.
Thecodont.
Okay? If it is on the side of the socket like this,
Hmm.
the socket is like this and it is on the side,
Right, it's
pleurodont.
pleurodont.
Okay? And if it is on the top,
Of the socket, it's acrodont.
acrodont. Yes?
So we have only thecodonts.
Yes, we are thecodonts.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see here examples for pleurodont and acrodont.
Yeah, snakes are pleurodont.
Yes. Okay, so I hope this is clear.
Yeah.
Not much. These terms you might see in options. That is the reason why you're getting. But questions related to that, generally they have not asked much. Okay, but you should be familiar with these terms just in case. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you which language do you speak at home?
Tamil only.
Tamil only. So you can actually remember Thiko na தெனிக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா உள்ள தெனிக்கிறது.
Okay.
Thiko. Yes. That is one way to remember. Okay. Yes. Based on how many times these teeth appear in our life, we can classify into different types. Now this is very easy to remember. Why? Because all that you need to remember is mono,
Di, and poly. Yeah.
Poly.
Appears twice is di, poly is. But
So
we
what
don't
are
have poly. We are di.
We are only di?
No, di and mono.
We are di and mono.
Molars are ones, I think, and yeah.
Yes, one molar and all the premolars. They appear only in the permanent teeth. They do not appear in the milk teeth.
Milk teeth.
So one molar, remember again, not all the molars. One molar
and all premolars.
All premolars. They come under the category of monophyodont.
Mono.
The remaining all teeth come under diphyodont. Okay. Why I am specifying this because they gave a question, which of the following are incorrect statements? So they said the teeth of adult human being is diphyodont.
Oh, it's both mono and
it's both, right? So that statement is incorrect. No. So in such incorrect questions, generally small details you have to be very careful of. Okay. And polyphyodont means times, more than 2 times if it appears, it's polyphyodont.
Not for us.
Okay. Is this clear classification?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I said, the dental formula. Okay. How this dental formula has come up, I'll tell you that. So what it did is, we have 2 jaws, no? Upper and lower. Okay. Now divide this into 4 parts. Okay. I'm going to count the number of teeth only in this region. On the top, only in this region.
On the right hand side.
Yes. That is 1/4 of the entire teeth.
Entire mouth.
Okay. Now if I'm counting on 1/4 of the entire teeth, in the front I have 2
canines.
incisor.
Incisor.
1
and 2.
Not, yes, sorry, this is, yes, I have one canine. And how
Yeah.
many premolars do I have?
Uh,
2.
premolars.
Premolars is 2. And molars is 3. See here. This is for the adults.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So once you are like, you have crossed the age of 18 years, I think all the teeth would grow.
Grow.
Yes. Your wisdom teeth starts growing at the age of 18.
Hmm.
Yeah. And when you were around 6 months old, your milk teeth will start growing. And by the
Growing.
time you reach 24 months, it will become, all the milk teeth would have grown.
Grown.
Okay. This is a time span.
Hmm.
Anyway, what you need to remember is ICPM. Remember this order. What is it?
ICPM.
ICPM. I for incisor,
C
P
for
for
canines
canine,
and premolars and molars.
premolar and molar. So it goes like 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hmm.
What
So
are they?
canine, two incisors, one
Yes.
canine,
Yes.
2 premolars and 3 molars.
Very good. Now this is only for this
1/4.
part.
So again into 2 and then
No,
below
once
also.
again. Wait. When you're writing the dental formula, you can see here, it's
Hmm.
written 2, 1, 2, 3 upon 2, 1, 2, 3.
Huh.
That stands for this particular part of the jaw.
Yeah. And then into 2 because
Yes.
it's
So that,
one half of the upper jaw. So you do it into 2. And then for lower also you do the same thing.
correct. So totally you will get
4, 2,
32 teeth.
yeah, 32 teeth. You'll
Yes.
get 4, 2, 4, 6.
Yes.
And then you
So
add it.
you need to remember this dental formula for permanent teeth. It's 2, 1, 2, 3 upon 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Now what about milk teeth?
Oh, no premolars.
Yes, no premolars and 1 molar is less.
Less.
I told you in the beginning, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So totally how many teeth will you have?
20 some
20?
2, 4, 6, 8. I think
This is basically 5.
yeah,
2 plus 2,
5,
4
10,
plus
10,
5 into 2.
10. Yeah, we'll have 20.
20. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So 20 milk teeth and 32 permanent teeth.
Permanent teeth.
Okay. So ICPM. This is what you need to remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So understood how this dental formula has come up?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next one, where the food will travel next. That is a pharynx region. Okay. If I'm explaining pharynx region, I have to explain a little bit of the nasal part also. If not, you will not be able to understand well.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically speaking, if this middle part is not there, your nasal cavity and oral cavity is one huge cavity.
So yeah, everything will be mixed.
Yes, everything will be mixed. So it is what is the roof of the oral cavity called?
P, it starts with P. Palate.
Palate, exactly. So can you see this is the palate region,
Palate.
which is dividing nasal and oral.
Oral.
And this part of the region is called as what palate? Front
Hard palate. Hard
and
palate.
this
A smooth palate.
soft palate.
Soft, yeah.
And it ends in a structure. And what the structure should be?
V-shaped.
Name of the structure.
I don't know that. Oh wait, some papilla is present. No.
Papilla.
No.
Papilla is in the tongue. Uvula.
Ovula. Yeah, ovula. Yeah.
Uvula. Okay. Yes. So uvula will be, okay, this is your nose.
Yeah.
What you
No.
breathe is going
Yeah.
to go into the nasal cavity
Nasal cavity.
and come here. Right? Now what is going to happen is the uvula is going to close this like this on upward movement. Okay. So this region is called as a nasopharynx.
Nasopharynx.
Where the nasal cavity opens, it's called as nasopharynx.
Nasopharynx.
Where the oral cavity opens is
It's called
as
oropharynx.
oropharynx. Okay. Now, both of these will lead into the food pipe and the windpipe. Okay.
And there again, glottis, epiglottis closing and opening.
Sorry?
And there again, the glottis, epiglottis again opening and closing. Yeah.
Yes, very good. Glottis and epiglottis comes there in play. Yes. Now, what happens is that this pharynx will lead to another area which is at the bottom, which is a common pathway for both naso and oro, which is called as hypopharynx.
Hypopharynx.
Okay, all are pharynx, just that based on what is opening into it, they are classified into different areas. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next part of the pharynx. Okay, so pharynx as such, there is no particular function. Even when we are talking about digestion, we will see that there is no digestion happening in pharynx.
Pharynx is just a transport pipe.
Yes, it's a transport. It's just a pathway or a road. That's it. Okay. Now we come to the tonsils part. Okay. Pharynx is where like major of the tonsils are located. Now before going into what is tonsils, which chapter are you in 12th standard? Did you cover human health and diseases?
Yeah, I just finished.
Just to finish. So you would have studied about lymphoid organs.
Yeah, primary, secondary. And then primary is where it's formed, like like T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes are formed. And then secondary is where they migrate and like spleen and all that.
Did you learn about tonsils there?
Yeah, tonsils.
Yes, right. So basically, the tonsils are lymphoid tissues.
Yeah.
Okay. These are defense mechanism for our body. To
they swell up or something during infections.
Correct. Like there are different types of tonsils, but the one that is near this throat region, that tonsil swells. It is called as tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis, yeah. I had tonsillitis once.
Yeah, it is actually a very common condition. Like you will have sore throat. That is just your body's defense mechanism. You know, until and unless it's going to cause you a lot of troubles, the doctors won't suggest to remove that. Yeah. So tonsils is basically nothing but lymphoid tissue.
Yeah.
But how these tonsils are arranged, based on that, you know, there is a structure, a specialized structure called as Waldeyer's ring. That's what we're going to see now. Okay.
Okay.
So we have how many pairs of tonsils? If you see, we have adenoid tonsil, tubal tonsil, palatine, and lingual. So four types of tonsils. Okay. Where they are located is what we are going to see. Okay. The one that is located in the nasopharynx here on the top.
Nasopharynx is adenoid.
Adenoid. It's also known as pharyngeal tonsils. What is it known as?
Pharyngeal tonsil.
So adenoid is also known as pharyngeal tonsil. Okay. Then there are certain tubal ones which are located near the Eustachian tube. Have you heard of Eustachian tube?
No.
Okay. Have you poured eardrops?
Yeah.
When you pour eardrops, it comes to your mouth at times.
Oh, that I haven't.
You haven't felt it?
No.
You feel like it is oozing into your system. Have you seen?
Yeah, that I felt. Like with water also.
Yeah. Have you have you gone in a plane?
Yeah. Ears get
when
blocked.
You fly, your entire ears get blocked.
Yeah.
But when you yawn, you feel like
everything opens. Yeah.
Correct. Why is that?
Because of.
Okay, I'll tell you the reason. Okay, so your ear after the middle ear is there, no? Okay, when we learn about ear, I'll tell you in detail. But for now, understand the middle portion of the ear will open into your this pharynx region. And the tube which connects your throat and your ear is called as Eustachian tube.
Tube that connects ear and this thing.
Okay?
The tube that connects the ear and the nose.
Ear and the throat.
Ear and the throat is what tube?
Eustachian tube. EU.
EU.
ST.
ST.
A.
CIAN.
CHIAN.
Oh. CHIAN tube.
Eustachian tube.
And it's the tube that connects the ear and the throat.
You can specify which ear also, middle ear.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the reason why when the pressure gets built up in your ear, when you yawn, the pressure gets released.
Yeah.
Because there is a opening. The Eustachian tube is not 24/7 open. It has some gate controls there, sphincters, which we will learn later on. Okay. But for now, understand that this tubal tonsil is located near the Eustachian tube.
Eustachian tube.
Okay. Now, the next one is called as a palatine one. Now,
it's present in oropharynx.
It is near your throat.
Throat.
And this is what we learned and you also saw, right? In the tongue one.
Yeah.
The tongue image. Yes.
Sides, yeah.
Correct. And I also told you that it's something leads to tonsillitis.
Swelling of this.
Yes. Swelling of palatine tonsil.
Palatine tonsil.
Okay. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes. And the last one is lingual tonsil. Tell me where it is located.
The pharynx below the oropharynx.
What is lingual?
Talk or speak.
Lingual is what?
Like to talk or speak.
What did I say? Lingual means always remember one word. Lingua, lingual. Did I say tongue?
Yeah, tongue.
Remember the root words. Lingua means tongue.
Tongue.
I even asked you epilingual and sublingual.
Yeah. Oh yeah, epilingual. So is it present in the sublingual?
Yeah, so it is present in the sublingual. So we call it as a lingual tonsil.
Tonsil.
Yes. So now when we are drawing this adenoid, tubal, palatine and lingual and we join all of them like this, it comes like a ring form. And that ring is called as Waldeus tonsillar ring. What is it called?
Waldeus tonsillar ring.
Yeah, you can note down the spelling.
Yeah.
W-A-L
Yeah.
D-E
Yeah.
Y-E-R
Y-E-R.
tonsillar.
Yeah,
T-O-N-S-I.
T-O-N-S-I-L-L-A-R.
Yes, that's it.
So it is the ring like comprises of all the tonsils.
All the tonsils, the arrangement of all the tonsils.
Okay.
So if you see, most commonly seen tonsils in most of your questions would be palatine. They don't ask any individual functions. Okay. But even if they ask, just remember if the swelling of adenoid leads to adenoitis, like tonsillitis, adenoitis.
Adenoitis.
Okay. So there is much questions from this area is not there. You just need to know what is this Waldeus ring.
Okay.
Okay. Now we move on to the part that you said, which is epiglottis.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have finished writing. Then I'll continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Done.
Done? Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this GIF is very much clear on how the movement happens. So always remember, if this is the trachea, okay, in front it is trachea. Behind the trachea is where the esophagus is going to be. So the anterior is trachea.
Trachea.
Posterior
Posterior
is,
is esophagus.
okay, or rather than saying anterior posterior, today where does it say dorsal ventral, but exactly this is not dorsal ventral
Dorsal.
also.
Yeah.
Yes. So trachea in the front, esophagus in the
This
back.
in the back.
Okay. So when we eat food, this particular region is called as glottis. Here, this region is called as the glottis.
And the covering of glottis is called epiglottis.
Epiglottis, yes.
The cap.
So what does epiglottis do? It will cover the
entry
trachea.
of food. It prevents the entry of food into the windpipe.
Yes. So if you see here, the trachea is in the front and it is being covered and the food is going down via the esophagus. Yes. So I think this part is clear for you.
Yeah.
Yes. So now we move to the next part, which is the esophagus. Okay. So esophagus is one long tube. There is no coiling or no, any other structure modification. It is just a long tube, cylindrical in nature. Okay. The only function of esophagus is transportation of food. Again, no digestion will happen in esophagus. So when we discuss about esophagus, you will be learning a little more in detail about it. Okay, fine. So another alternate names for esophagus is gullet, food pipe.
Food pipe.
Yes. So the reason why I'm saying is some places gullet will be given. So don't think it is something new. Gullet is nothing but food pipe.
Food pipe.
Okay, and the remaining the remaining parts we will be discussing in the next class.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So right now you have handful of some new terms to learn. So what I want you to do is when you come for the next class, I will send this in the group.
Yeah.
Just revise this and come.
Oh, okay.
Don't come blank. I don't think it will take hardly 15 minutes to just go through and learn and come. Yes.
Yeah.
So the why I'm saying is next class you should not be blank because it's going to be a continuation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me just ask you some questions. Wait. Based on today's session. Any doubt? You can ask me now.
No.
Is this clear?
Yeah.
That's not possible. That's which school are you studying in?
National Hillview Public School.
NPS, huh?
No, NHEPS.
In Bangalore?
Yeah.
You didn't join anywhere else?
Meaning?
Like any other coaching classes?
No.
Great. Either stick to one or don't go to
Yeah.
any coaching classes. But some kids mix up so many things together.
Yeah. I know like friends who go to Allen and school.
You know what you should do, take their question papers, practice.
Yeah, they have a course here where you can just get the Allen books or the Akash books, and then all the papers, everything. And then they won't teach you anything, but all their weekly tests, weekly assignments, everything you should do and submit.
Oh, nice. Just ask your friends, why are you simply registering for it?
Yeah,
I'll also forward a few notes to you from other
places. I have for 12th, like my tutor, like he himself wrote notes like 5-6 years back. So he's given that printed edition.
Okay, that's great.
So for 12th I have.
I'll send it out for 11th, whatever notes I have.
Yeah.
You can refer it, okay? As and when I get reference materials. Because I work elsewhere also where I get a lot of materials. So yeah, I can help you. Yes. Now tell me, what is the answer to this, okay? The entire process starting from the intake of food to the utilization of nutrients for repair, growth and development is called what?
Nutrition. Or digestion.
The question is, the entire process starting from the intake of food to the utilization of nutrients.
To the utilization of nutrients. Ingestion.
No.
Digestion only. Or nutrition.
Digestion is what? Breaking down of food.
Food. Oh, okay.
That is a part of a process, a bigger process. What is that called? I told you in the beginning.
Nutrition.
Nutrition, yes.
Yeah.
Understood the difference?
Yeah. No, I said digestion or nutrition, but yeah, nutrition.
You don't use digestion as an odd term for nutrition.
Yeah, it's a different
it's a part of nutrition. Okay. Then the part of the alimentary canal which connects the pharynx and stomach is called
esophagus.
Correct. Very good. That was a simple and easy question. The space between the gums and the lips is called
oh wait, you told something for that. I don't remember that. Vestibules.
Very good. The anterior portion of the roof of the buccal cavity is called?
Anterior portion of the roof of the palate, hard palate.
Correct. The small projections on the upper surface of the tongue, some of which have taste buds, are called?
Papillae, especially circumvallate papillae.
See, all papillae have
taste bud except fungi. No, except filiform. Yeah, except filiform.
There was one more point I forgot to mention. Is your tongue hanging in air or is it attached to your floor of the oral cavity?
Attached to the floor of the oral.
By what?
By something.
So if you push up your tongue and see, there will be one.
It's attached.
Attached, right? Yeah. That attachment is called frenulum. Note it down. It's called frenulum.
So tongue is attached to the mouth
floor of the buccal cavity.
Buccal cavity.
It's called the lingual frenulum.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah.
Next question. Which of the following are characteristics of human teeth?
Which of the following?
I'll tell the options, okay?
Yeah.
They are thecodont, heterodont, diphyodont, all of the above.
All of the above.
Oh, very good. What do you mean by pleurodont?
The teeth is present on the lateral side of the.
Are you sure it's on?
No, it's not on. It's on the lateral side, like snakes.
Very good. Lateral side. Good.
Yeah.
Fine. in mouth, which part has ridges or rugged or folds?
Palate, hard palate.
Hard palate. Okay, it can be ridges or it can be rugged
Rugged.
or it can be hard
Hard.
palate. I mean, sorry, it can be folds. Okay,
Yeah.
not literal folds, but here and there a bit
Like, yeah.
small folds. Okay, so yes, that's it. I had planned for today. Oh, that was a correct thing. I hope the pace is fine.
Yeah.
Is it fast for you or slow for you?
Yeah, it's proper.
Okay, then fine.
And next class is tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
Tomorrow?
You just someone sent. Oh, that's chemistry. Okay, yeah, no man.
No,
For
no.
a second, I thought
My next class would be Sunday, but
Sunday.
I had asked for a time change. What time will be convenient for you on Sunday? 4 to 6 or
Sunday.
2 to 4?
I'll be. I might go out in the afternoon, but I'm not sure. I'm fine with morning also, like either morning or evening.
Morning at what time you have a chemistry class?
That's 10. Like before 10, I'm free. Like I wake up anyways early.
Okay, before 10 you mean?
Like, yeah, we can do like 8 to 9 or 8:30 to 9:30. So I'll have half an hour break for chemistry.
Oh, okay, okay. I think Sunday is 2 hours class.
Oh.
Yeah, so that would be a little task because I thought, okay, evening means we can go out. No, for after 4 o'clock. Or you're
Tomorrow,
someone who goes before 4 o'clock.
yeah, tomorrow I'll let you know.
Yeah, not an issue.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I just wanted to know if that is convenient means then Sundays we can plan accordingly.
Yeah.
You
Like
can just
mostly I go out for lunch. I don't go out for dinner.
okay, you go out for lunch, is it?
Lunch, yeah.
You're
Like
just
dinner, I
opposite of
don't.
not an issue. We can have
Yeah.
from 4 to 6 also. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just let you know. Like tomorrow,
Yeah.
if I go out, then I won't go out on Sunday.
You roam with your friends, is it?
Yeah. So it all gets decided tomorrow morning. So
I can get it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I have crossed that phase, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Even my friends are still like that. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
cool. I hope you understood. So in the group you are there, right, Akshay?
Yeah.
My number is also there. So in case any doubt you have, you can WhatsApp me. Not an issue.
Yeah. And the PPT you just sent, so I'll write down everything.
I will forward it in the group itself.
Yeah.
One more thing, don't send this anywhere else because as
Yeah.
I said, I work elsewhere. So that there I use this PPT. So I have taken
Yeah.
it out for you.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want this to be circulated anywhere and I will fall into trouble otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akshay. Then
Yeah,
I'll meet
thank
you
you.
on Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday, I'll just tell you that I'll message you the timings tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, no problem. You can message me the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye bye. Good night.
Bye. Yeah. Good night.